Welcome to my channel. My name is Kinga, and in today's video I want to give you my favorite 3 biohacking tools and practices I use daily to become a better version of myself, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I have more than 3 biohacks, but this video would be too long, so I just focus on my favorite 3. Now that we all have access to so much information at the tip of our fingers, just by watching YouTube alone, for example, we have fewer excuses for not taking control of our bodies and minds to optimize our performance, health, and well-being. You can use biohacking tools and practices to improve your quality of life, enhance physical or cognitive performance, or to achieve a specific health goal. I personally use it to become a better me in general, mentally, emotionally, and physically too. And to do that, I knew that I wanted to target 2 important areas or parts of my body: my brain and my heart. Why these 2? Because I believe that those are the areas in my body that are weaker due to early childhood traumas, and because by fixing them, as in making them more resilient, they could help me become more resilient too. They could help me regulate my emotions better and respond in ways that I should or I want. Staying in control of my thoughts, emotions better, managing my stress, anxiety and depression better, or even completely eliminate them from my life. And if I could heal them, help both my heart and my brain calm down and communicate better with each other, I could reach that desired state of heart-brain coherence more easily too, which has profound benefits for health, emotional well-being, and personal development. If you want to know more about the heart-brain coherence, just visit the Heart Math Institute's website. As the control center of the nervous system, the brain is a primary target for many biohackers. Those who are passionate about becoming a better, healthier version of themselves, including me, all want to enhance their cognitive function, improve their mental clarity, boost their memory, and increase overall brain health. As the engine of the circulatory system, the heart is responsible for pumping blood throughout the body, supplying oxygen and nutrition to tissues. And by targeting the heart through various biohacking strategies, you can also enhance cardiovascular health, which is fundamental for overall physical wellness. And I realized that I needed to address several aspects of myself, including my occasional short temper, my low threshold for frustration, my emotional sensitivity, my low stress tolerance, my anxiety, and my tendency toward depression, which has often been accompanied by suicidal thoughts. And as I stated earlier, I wanted to become more resilient, like mentally, physically, and emotionally too, to be able to handle my emotions better, to have better stress management skills, to react less, to respond better to challenges. And I understood that by inducing certain biological changes, I could even change my personality for the better. I wanted to become a better me, for myself, for my partner, and just in general for the relationships with other people that I have. Now, I have always had a heart that beats to its own drum, literally. In my 20s, it was racing at a chill 120 BPM, and exercise sent it rocketing to 160. Friends used to check my pulse and wondered if I was secretly a hummingbird. Now in my 40s, my heart still thinks that I'm constantly working out or running from danger, or I don't know. It's like I'm invisibly jogging all day with rates of 90 to 100 BPM. And that's my resting heart rate. Or used to be, because it's already going down. I have measured 75s and 80s ever since I started my biohacking practices, so there's hope. I knew that I wanted to live a longer and healthier life, and I had to do something about my heart rate. I always knew that regular exercise could strengthen my heart, and that would lower my heart rate, but I can be also lazy. And there's this crazy steep hill close to where I live, and I could never cycle up on it. Had to get off and push my bike up like most people do there. My legs are actually strong, and they were ready to go, but my heart was like, nope, every time I tried. And this last summer, I trained daily, tackling that hill until I was not only able to cycle up on it without stopping and not feel like my heart is going to jump out of my chest, but to also keep going to a point where I would be just looping up and down 2-3 times in a row, and every single day. Now, fixing my heart rate is not only important for my cardiovascular health, because I also believe that my higher resting heart rate also comes with an increased physiological reactivity to stress, being less resilient emotionally, mentally, and physically too. My nervous system feels like it's constantly on high alert, ready to jump at the slightest trigger. And my father was like that, and his father was like that too. I have witnessed their reactions, and I can tell you it's not pretty. Luckily, I am not violent towards others, but I've been violent towards myself, like harming myself physically, in a state of emotional overdrive. And they're just stupid. I know that. My high heart rate is like living in a constant state of readiness for my nervous system. But since this is all I know, I'm just so used to it that I don't think that I am particularly stressed. But my body, maybe. I actually used to grind my teeth at night too, which is also a sign of anxiety and stress. And it can be just exhausting and overwhelming for my body, I'm sure. And working on balancing my heart rate is also a step towards a calmer and more centered me. So my number one biohacking tool is, you probably guessed, exercising, but not just any kind. I added a special routine to my mornings about a month ago, and I'm keen to share it with you and hopefully inspire you to do it too. Now, have you heard of the benefits of jumping on a trampoline or a rebounder? Have you heard of the benefits of training or even just walking with a weighted vest? Have you heard of the benefits of the HIIT exercises? Now, I decided to combine all three. Basically, every morning I do a quick, high-intensity interval training, only 12 minutes, on a rebounder, while wearing a 5-kilo weighted vest. 30 seconds high-intensity jumping, like you actually feel like you're going to get a heart attack, and then 90 seconds slower jumping, 6 times. So for 30 seconds, my heart is beating extra fast, and 90 seconds recovery, and then repeat this 6 times. Now, the alternating intensity levels challenge your heart and lungs, helping to strengthen your cardiovascular system. And HIIT is also known for its efficiency in burning calories. The addition of the weighted vest increases the intensity, both during and after the workout, due to the afterburn effect, which HIIT is also known for. Now, the weighted vest adds extra resistance, which helps in strengthening and toning the muscles, particularly in the lower body and core. And jumping exercises are weight-bearing, and the added weight from the vest that I put on further enhances this effect, potentially leading to improved bone density over time. That's something that I read. And then rebounding is particularly beneficial for lymphatic circulation, which helps in detoxifying the body. They say that exercising actually releases endorphins, which are natural mood lifters. Well, I think I may be the only person on earth who doesn't get any happiness from exercising. I hate it with a passion. But jumping on a trampoline is fun, even for me. And how did this impact my mental health, apart from the obvious physical benefits? Let me tell you about my number 2 biohacking tool first, because that also contributed to the changes I have experienced. In fact, I think the biggest contributor is this. My number 2 biohacking tool or practice is actually something that I start my day with. I have a love and hate relationship with it. I hate it because of how it feels, but I love it because of how quickly I saw its benefits. Cold exposure. Almost like an ice bath, but I do it indoors. The water is freezing cold though. And it just sends my body to panic mode for the first 30 seconds. I submerge myself in it up to my neck, and I stay in it for 5 minutes. And it's only the first 30 seconds that is highly uncomfortable, to be honest with you. Especially when you just got out of your warm bed. Like, who the hell wants to dip themselves in ice cold water? Especially when you live in Sweden like I do and it is snowing outside. Well, it definitely wakes you up and stimulates blood flow, improves your circulation, which is beneficial for your heart and even your brain, and muscle recovery. And it just helps to reduce any muscle soreness or tension and inflammation that you may have. Athletes actually use it as a recovery tool, and it boosts your immune system. The shock of cold water can activate the body's immune response, leading to an increased production of white blood cells. They also say that it increases your mental resilience, and it does for sure, like I have experienced it. Pushing your boundaries, becoming comfortable with the uncomfortable. It definitely gives me, I don't know, like more confidence, because I know I can do it. I can do something so hard and difficult and choose to do it. I choose to push myself through it. And it makes me feel tough. And if you feel tough and confident already in the morning, then your whole day changes, because you just feel like there is nothing you can not conquer. You just face challenges with more ease, basically. And it definitely trains you to be more resilient to stress and discomfort in other areas of life. Some studies suggest that exposure to cold can increase metabolism as the body burns more calories to maintain its core temperature, and this can potentially aid in weight management too. Now, one of my favorite side effects of cold exposure is how my skin feels after it. I have smooth skin, but I have to use a lot of body lotion after every shower or bath I take because my skin just gets dry. But after my cold bath, my skin is so smooth and so soft, and it just feels hydrated already. They say that a cold plunge also triggers the release of endorphins. Yeah, I definitely feel and look happier after I get out. The cold plunge may not be suitable for everyone, but if you are relatively healthy and want to become more resilient mentally, physically, and emotionally, then do it. Look up someone on YouTube who can help you prepare, like Wim Hof is probably the most famous one, because it is advised to breathe in a special way to calm your body before you get in and even during. I personally forget to breathe a lot of the times. I just keep telling myself, I am safe, I am safe, I am safe, and this is good for me. And I put some music on that pumps me up before, and I also do like a quick 3x12 push-ups right before the cold plunge, just to get my heart going. I think it just feels better to dip myself into the cold water when I'm a little warmed up. And don't worry, after about 30 seconds, you will not feel the cold. It's actually weird, but the body makes this thermal layer around itself, and this is a physiological response to extreme cold exposure. Your smart body's natural insulation mechanism. Now, I noticed that if I don't move, I will stop feeling cold. But as soon as I move and break this thermal layer, then I feel extremely cold again. But it settles quick, so it's okay, it's bearable. And when I get out of the cold bath after 5 minutes, I do not dry myself with a towel because that would warm me up quickly. I allow my body to air dry so I can torture myself, feel cold and shiver a little more. And shivering has all the benefits of the cold plunge that I just told you about. Plus, it stimulates the activity of brown fat, which burns calories to generate heat. I've been doing this for a month now, every freaking morning. I only skipped the first 2 days of my cycle, and not because of the blood, but because on those days, I don't know, I just feel extra sensitive physically. I haven't lost weight yet, but I have experienced that my heart got stronger. Now, I don't wear any smart watches or rings, so I cannot give you exact data yet, but in the past, if I exercised and my heart rate went up just a little bit, I felt this throbbing sensation going up my neck and then my head, and then my face would go red, and I would feel like I had to stop. Otherwise, I felt that my head would explode. Now, when I exercise, I feel the same pulse rising, but it just stops at my neck, and I feel that my heart getting regulated and being able to calm itself down, so it goes back down after that. Like it stops here and goes down. It's crazy. It feels like my heart is able to calm itself down. It's a weird but positive experience, and it just feels like my heart beats in a more consistent or confident way. It's hard to explain. I can also do more before I feel out of breath or exhausted. And only after 3 days of cold exposure, I already got better at stress management. I just got more resilient towards things. Like I had actually a very stressful situation at work on the third day of my cold exposure. And that situation would normally get me extremely frustrated and unable to think clearly or think and find solutions. But this time, I still felt the frustration, but it was just all manageable. I was able to think clearly, find different ways to handle the problem, and just not give up until I solved the issue. And I did all that with a seemingly calm attitude and even a smile on my face, and being kind to the client I had to meet. It felt like a new me. I responded in a more adult way, a healthier way. Now, I have come across some studies and saw some brain scans showing how cold exposure can rewire the brain. It actually changes the connectivity between specific parts of the brain that control our emotions and help us stay attentive and make decisions. It can basically reset your brain. And after I heard that, and that cold plunge can have an impact on neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections, no matter how old you are, I knew I had to try it. And it didn't disappoint. It's tough, but it didn't disappoint. Also, in my relationship, I became stronger, like better, more resilient. And that shows especially in conflicts. I'm so happy with the changes in me in such a short time that I just feel truly motivated to keep doing this and have it as a daily routine forever. Now, regarding the impact of my cold plunge routine on my anxiety and depression, I can tell you that there has been a noticeable shift within me. I find myself calmer and more composed in stressful situations, even when facing triggers that in the past would plunge me into a deep, hopeless darkness. Now, discussing it so casually might sound trivial, but believe me that these triggers often bring up childhood traumas, leaving me desperately seeking an escape, like want to commit suicide, actually. I have struggled with these feelings my entire life. However, since starting the cold plunges, I have observed a significant change. The last time I encountered like a familiar trigger, the thought of suicide like fleetingly crossed my mind, but it passed almost instantly. The thought appeared, but it didn't linger, and I felt no compulsion towards any rash actions. It was as if the idea surfaced, but just vanished before it could take hold. And I felt so much more confident and stronger afterwards. And this would not be my channel if my number 3 biohacking tool to become a better me was not meditating. And I started meditating in a very different way, also about a month ago. Now, we all know how meditating daily can help you reduce stress, lower levels of cortisol, improve emotional well-being, improve your focus and concentration. It also promotes neuroplasticity, helps you form those new neural connections, helps you learn to respond better to stress and triggers instead of just reacting, and can help you rewire your brain completely. But you have to be consistent with it. You have to do it every freaking day. Trauma can have profound and lasting effects on the brain, impacting its structure, function, and chemistry. And if you are human, you probably have experienced trauma at some point in your life. And you could also benefit from reversing the changes it has caused to your brain. And the reverse is possible. So my daily routine now looks like this: light exercise, push-ups, cold bath, HIIT exercise, and meditating. And to save time in the morning, I have also combined my meditation with other therapy forms. On certain days, I just lay down on a modern version of a bed of nails, it's called. Not the wooden one with real nails, but I use this plastic version of it, also called an acupressure mat. And unlike acupuncture, that uses selective and targeted points to treat pain and diseases, acupressure mats apply pressure on a large surface area. And it's not that painful, actually. It has a general effect of releasing muscular tension and increasing blood circulation. It's actually quite comfy for 15 minutes. Now, I remember once I decided to do it on my belly. I don't know why, but I think I wanted more circulation in my belly to help me lose weight, whatever, and I fell asleep. It was burning after that. My skin was so red, and the small plastic spikes do leave an imprint on your skin, so my belly looked like an orange, but it all goes away after a couple of minutes. On other days, I just sit on my couch while meditating and run some programs on me with my frequency machines. I have the SOTA magnetic pulsar. It's this guy, hello. And then I have this one, Dr. Zapper, from Dr. Hulda Clark. Now the Zapper actually zaps out parasites, viruses, bacteria from the body, but it also does some other magic too. It has like programs for everything. And this video is not about these devices, so I'm not gonna keep talking about them, but you can Google them. I just wanted to point out how you can do some other passive healing practices while doing your meditation, if you want to make the most of your mornings. I will make a separate video on these machines if you want. Let me know in the comment section. But what I'm most curious about is, are you going to try the cold bath? Do you meditate daily? If not, why not? What stops you, and what is your favorite biohacking tool? Let me know in the comment. If you like this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, because it costs you nothing, but it helps me grow this channel and reach more people like you. Hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.